Hi, I'm Aoife and I'm answering questions from my Instagram. And one of these questions was I'm kind of scared of sugary things. I have a big sweet tooth, so not eating too many of them is hard already. But what makes it even harder is that once I start eating something sweet, I immediately get the urge to eat more of it. Not like I can't stop, but this extreme desire to eat more of it, which leads me to snacking on sweet things. How do I get rid of that? Please do not say self discipline. That has only led me to being miserable and restricting everything. So yeah, that's a really tough place to be, and I spent a long time in that place myself, so I totally know what you mean. And it's interesting you say, please don't say self discipline, because discipline is why this is happening. So there's two reasons that this is happening. One's mental, and one's just because they're freaking delicious, and the company and scientists, food scientists, have spent a lot on the research into what makes us almost addicted to food. So, like, say, foods like Haribo and stuff like that, or just any big popular brand, they have marketing geniuses and they have scientists that have like figured out the exact sugariness and powderiness and taste sensation, what that taste does to our brain. So these foods are geared for us to overeat. So don't feel weak. Don't feel like there's something wrong with you. They do taste delicious. From a biological aspect, your body runs on glucose. So sugar and carbohydrate is its preferred fuel source. And usually in nature, what you have to do is, say, if you were to eat some rice or something, it's like, yes, you get that sugary carbohydrate, but you also get lots of vitamins and minerals and protective elements and fiber that will slow down the release of that sugar. So when your brain or your body sees something that's like pure sugar and it takes no work to break it down, like zero fiber to get through, zero water to get through, it is just 100% the glucose, well then, our body's going to say like, oh, there you go, there's an easy option. So that's why, in a way, you need to know what you're up against. So it's like, you don't need to have to fight against these sugary things. You don't have to aim to cut them out of your life. You don't even have to aim to not like them. Like, it would be a terrible plan, because you do like them and you're allowed like them. And if you're doing it for health reasons or weight reasons, like nice, yummy, sweet things absolutely can fit into your life and your diet and stay the same weight. So for me, when I was a binge eater, what didn't work was, if you're in the middle of a packet of sweet yumminess and you tell yourself, okay, one more bite, and then I'm done, one more bite and I'm not going to have any more after that. You're creating scarcity there. So you're making it sound to your subconscious brain that there's not going to be any more left of these soon. And so to our subconscious brain, it doesn't like the sound of food scarcity, just like it wouldn't like the sound of oxygen scarcity. Like, food and oxygen are the two things that we need to stay alive. So if you're telling yourself, okay, after this is gone now, I'm not going to eat anymore, well, you're going to eat the whole packet and everything around you, because if we tell our subconscious brain that food is going to go away soon, we're always going to pre-eat in advance of that food scarcity. So that's how, like, our ancestors survived famines and wars and all the rest of it, is because if there was an idea of food shortage coming their way, they'd pre-eat in advance. And this is why dieters get fat over time, because they're always planning to cut stuff out. But in the meantime, before they cut the stuff out, they're overeating it. And that's not kind of their frontal lobe personality side of the brain doing that. That's their subconscious survival mechanism. So what I would say to you is, don't try and fight the urge. Try and, I suppose, settle right into it. So it's kind of like, if you're not going to deny yourself anymore, if you're going to say like, okay, I want a long, lovely life of all the foods that I find delicious, but I also want to feel very well. So that's the other thing that will help you get rid of this, is that, like, yes, of course it tastes good. Like I said, there's food scientists working on it tasting good and it's sending fireworks to our brain. But how do you feel after eating it? Like, in your belly. I don't mean guilt and shame and all that stuff that we make up. I mean physically. So sometimes it will fit right in. Sometimes you'll eat an amount or a food that will just be like, oh my God, that was so delicious and it tasted lovely and I feel lovely after it. And sometimes you might be like, oh my God, that was way too much. Like, I feel kind of sick. I kind of feel, like that was too much. And so that's the thing to figure out, because it's kind of like we're all unique, and our mind could say like, oh, you shouldn't be eating sweet things, but your belly might be like, oh, I'm dead happy with that. That tasted and felt lovely. So for you, it's when you're going to eat something, first of all, make sure it's your favorite thing. And second of all, you're deciding in advance how you want to feel afterwards, physically. So you want to eat whatever you can get away with while still maintaining that like nicely full feeling, or even if you like full feeling, but you don't want to go to the over sick feeling. So it's like you decide how you want to feel with this food. And that generally corrects a lot of things, because your body is entirely on your side. So when it feels gross, that's it saying like, please, I am not capable of eating either that food or that amount of that food. So that signal is like our signal to be like, oh, okay, that's not what my body is designed for. So you really tuning into how you feel after a food, and you tuning into like, what is the perfect happy medium of me eating this food. So say it's ice cream, so how much ice cream, like, and you're testing it as you're eating it. It's like, I want my belly to feel lovely after this, so as I'm eating it and it's tasting so delicious, how's my belly filling up, and where would be a lovely point to stop, knowing that I could just eat it again later. So the thing is that if you know too much about nutrition, you're probably like, but what are you talking about? That's a really unhealthy food. That's really bad for me. Bollocks, basically. So if you listen to like extremists and stuff, they will say that, but nowhere in like health or science or nutrition or biology or robust information about the body does it say that if you eat some ice cream that's going to be horrifically bad for you. Of course it's not. If you only eat one type of food, of course you're missing out on other nutrients. So if you were to only eat chocolate, well then yeah, you're missing out on loads of like other vitamins and minerals, and that's going to make you sick eventually. But the same could happen if you were to just eat one fruit. So yeah, I've compiled a lot of information into that one video. So I hope that gives you some tools, because ultimately you are totally unique, and you should and can be eating foods that taste lovely to you. But most importantly, it's how you feel after them physically as well, so that you get the right amount of those foods. But never deny yourself, because as you've learned, that is what's causing this kind of chaotic crazed eating. So I hope that helps. Okay, bye-bye.